guys, welcome back to the channel. As usual, I am your host, sellssi. Today we're going to talk about something quite interesting, the transfer news about Partey. The Ghana Black Stars man has become a person of interest for Saudi Arabia move. Fabrizio Romano has talking about it. He says Saudi clubs are prepared to pay 40 million euros in installments for the Ghana Black Stars man. We'll be looking at the validity and viability of this news and why Partey would want to leave Arsenal, especially considering such a season he has had with the Gunners, almost making the title there. Comments have also come in from Neymar Jr. on why African countries have not been winning the World Cup. That is, no African country has won the World Cup. Pele has said in the past that African country will win the World Cup before the 2000s. It did not happen, and we are still in wait. In 2018 was the lowest of low for African countries, where no one qualified from the group stages into the knockout phases at Russia 2018. So it was a huge blow, and Neymar believes that this is the reason why he feels the passion is not there. We'll look at the validity of it also. As usual, subscribe if you have not. Click on the notification bell to get more updates. We'll jump right into it and talk about the news of transfer for Partey. The Ghanaian is a person of interest for several Saudi clubs. According to transfer expert Fabrizio Romano, he said Saudi clubs are interested and are prepared to pay 40 million euros in installments to Partey, to Arsenal for Partey. He's a concrete option for Saudi. His exit is possible as revealed. No decision yet on player side. He also has approaches from Europe. No deal talks at Arsenal FC. So you'll be asking yourself why Partey is pushing for a move out of the Gunners, especially considering that he had a great first half to the season, was instrumental. Many people were calling him the glue that puts the Arsenal midfield together. He sticks them together and makes them tick. He's the ultimate linchpin for the Gunners in midfield. What happened? Why is there news about him possibly moving out of the Gunners into a Saudi Arabian club? Well, there could be two reasons for that. First is the preference for Jorginho over him when the Jorginho was signed. And I wouldn't fault him for that. I wouldn't fault Arteta, because at the time, Partey was not at his best. Jorginho was being played ahead of him, and it was unfortunate in that circumstance that he had dwindled a bit in form. His mistakes in games versus West Ham and others led to goals that made them slip in the title race. Arteta felt he could not rely on the man who was so instrumental to their success in the first half of the season. I think that is one reason. Another reason is the pursuit of Declan Rice by Arsenal. Declan Rice of West Ham United. He would probably be a replacement or someone who Arsenal are looking to take over the position of Partey. Partey feels he's quote-unquote deemed surplus to requirements, but I was quite disappointed when I saw this news about Partey possibly leaving the Gunners. I think the Declan Rice interest, 90 million plus for Declan Rice. Arsenal are pushing for that move. They've recently signed Kai Havertz from Chelsea, and they are looking to sign Declan Rice as well from West Ham. Rice fits perfectly the Partey role, and he would be a replacement for the Ghanaian. He is looking for an exit route in case that move is completed, I think, and that is why he could probably be leaving to a Saudi club. Well, to a Saudi club, I don't know why to a Saudi club specifically, but as Fabrizio said, no deal has been set. It is still in the wind, and also it is clear that there are European interests as well, so he could still go for a European club. But it's unfortunate what Partey and Arsenal has come to now, after the Ghanaian joined them for a record fee for the Gunners at the time. Since Mesut Ozil, it has been a relationship which has grown. He qualified the team to help them take to the Champions League at least this season. A title charge was on the cards, but unfortunately it dwindled. He was instrumental in the first half of the season. You would have thought they would want him to continue, but the case of the Saudi clubs proving interest could be monetary. Nonetheless, players, a lot of them are moving to Saudi Arabian clubs. A whole plethora of players. The latest, N'Golo Kante to join Hakim Ziyech. Senegal's captain is also looking. Koulibaly could be also there to join a Saudi club. It's a raid going on in Europe by the Saudi Arabians. Oil money can do that. But do you think Thomas Partey is making the right decision in joining a Saudi club? Do you think he will move? Or do you think he should stay in Europe? What do you think your Ghana Black Stars midfield man should do? Let me know your thoughts in the comments box. I'll end with a story on Neymar Jr. He says Africa does not win the World Cup because players are not passionate. And now the Brazilian forward believes African teams have faced challenges in winning the World Cup because their players do not put in the effort as they do in their club teams. Now, according to PSG star, African players often lack the same level of passion when representing their countries on the global stage, unlike their South American players. While acknowledging that Africa produces some of the world's finest talents, Neymar suggested that these players do not exhibit the same enthusiasm when playing for their national team. He said Africa does not win a World Cup because African players play for Europe. It's different with Brazil. No matter where we are trained to prefer to defend the jersey of our country. African players have talent, but they don't show it for the national teams. African players don't have such passion to represent their countries like South Americans. That's why Brazil has 5 World Cups, he said, quoted by First Mag Levray. Do you agree with Neymar Jr. here? He makes some points, but I think it is changing. There is a wind of change making its way into African countries, and it's coming hard. Ghana, probably you can say it's still ongoing with our national team. The passion from the players who play for us might not be there, but you can say teams like Senegal are showing that. Morocco showed it at the last World Cup. Neymar, is true that yes, some African players show more passion for their clubs, even prefer to play for their clubs ahead of their countries when it comes down to it. But a wind of change is coming, and I think yes, it will improve. And the World Cup, I was always of the opinion that the reason why Africa did not win a World Cup was because of our limited numbers. South America also has 5, so even less, I have to say. So that number thing is not an excuse. If they are doing it, it has to do with the passion and the eagerness to get it done. And that is what he is saying. Morocco went to the semi-final, broke that jinx that has been there since Ghana in 2010, and Senegal in 2002, and Cameroon in 1990. They broke it. Maybe the next World Cup we'll see an African team make it into the final. You never know. But let me know your thoughts in the comments box. Any truth to what he said? I agree with him to some extent, but I feel there's a change coming, at least with some African countries. I'll see you guys in the next one, talking to you about Thomas Partey's move, why it's happening, and NEYMA'R'S comments on African teams. Enjoy the rest of your week.